Hello, I'm Richard Chambers, President and CEO of the Institute of Internal Auditors. In my recently published book, Trusted Advisors, Key Attributes of Outstanding Internal Auditors, I share my insights and those of a number of top chief audit executives about 9 key traits needed to become a trusted advisor. One of the top audit leaders that I quote in the book is Richard Brilliant, Chief Audit Officer at Carnival Corporation. In the book, Richard notes, audit findings can be complex and detailed. An effective communicator finds ways to synthesize the information and make it easy to understand. It doesn't matter how good your technical skills are if you're unable to effectively communicate and persuade. Thank you, Richard, for joining me. Let's start by talking about that last bit of your quote from the book. You suggest that without effective communication, internal audit really can't do its job. Could you elaborate on that for us?
So when you think about what our job is, we hear lots of different things, don't we? We hear that we should be challenging the status quo. We hear that we should be helping management achieve their objectives. And when you think about what that takes, that's not something that you do from the sidelines. You have to be actively engaged, which brings us to communication. Mm-hmm. So when we think about communication, we're not just talking about broadcasting, right? We were born with 2 of these and 1 of these. So I think when we think about communication, we also have to think about listening. So listening is very important. So I don't understand how anyone could have the premise that if you want to be a good auditor, well, those softer skills, the communication skills, those can be off to the side. I think they're up front and center. If you really want to help management achieve their objectives, you have to be a good communicator. You just can't be effective without it.
I think that's extremely well put. I find effective communication to be more than just about being clear and concise. From my experience, it's about tone and attitude. How much do you think tone and attitude play?
Well, I think it plays a lot, but let's not sort of move off of concise so quickly. When we hire new auditors, one of the things I say to them at the get-go is a quote that I once heard from Mark Twain. Mm-hmm. And he said, sorry to have written you such a long letter. I didn't have time to write you a short one. It's too easy for someone to just take the easy way out and just dump all of the information into a report, to talk ad nauseum. It takes a lot more skill and discipline to be able to synthesize your thoughts in an effective way. But tone is clearly important. So for example, if you take the 2 words, excuse me, mm-hmm. right, very concise, nice words, I would think. Excuse me? Mm-hmm. Excuse me? So what you say and how you say it go together hand in hand, and it's critical for people to understand the tone piece. But tone is not just verbal. I would also point to body language and how comfortable you can make someone else feel when you're in front of them. So there are a lot of elements to communication, and I think we have to think about the way you write, the way you speak, the way you act in front of others, to have that full package that allows you to communicate effectively.